Hey, Wayne here from Wayne Thode and Art, and today we're going to be talking about all things graphite. Right. Okay, let's get started. So, what is graphite? This just in, graphite is an allotrope of the element carbon. Psst. Got a secret. That lead in your pencil? It's not lead. That's right, it's graphite. Now, just in case you were wondering about the little letters and numbers on your pencils, here's the lowdown. As I mentioned before, graphite is a form of carbon. The graphite in your pencil is mixed with clay, and the more graphite you have, the softer the pencil core and the darker the pencil will write. The more clay you have, the harder the pencil core and the lighter the pencil will write. Now, one of the reasons I like working in graphite is because graphite pencils, well, they're fairly inexpensive, and they last a long time. Now, I'm a pretty cheap guy, so that just works out. So you can purchase single pencils or complete sets ranging anywhere from 9H to 9B or anything in between. If a pencil is marked with an H, that stands for hardness. If it's marked with a B, that stands for blackness. Okay, so the 9H pencil has the highest percentage of clay, making it the hardest graphite pencil, which means you can sharpen it to a very sharp point. It'll hold that point longer, but you just won't be able to get those dark values. For that, you need to go to the B pencils, the softer pencils, the darkest of which is 9B. Now, I'm not going to bore you by drawing little squares on a piece of paper and coloring them in to create a tonal scale from 9H to 9B, when you can just Google it and get one online. However, it is a good idea to make one just to practice getting different values. Now, that 9H to 9B grading scale was great and everything, but then he had to mess the whole thing up by throwing in an HB and an F pencil right smack in the middle. The HB stands for hard black and the F stands for fine point. Now, they don't tell you everything with these grading scales, because look what I found. Ready? That's right, baby. 12B.
No way!
Oh, yes, way. Hey, I'm back. New cup, new day, new shirt. So where were we? Yes. Pencil grades. From 9H to 9B, do I actually use all these? Nah. I usually stick within a 2H to a 3B. Usually when I start a sketch, I'll lightly sketch it out with a 2H, and then I'll go to work on it. But we have many more pencil options to discuss, such as the mechanical pencil.
Did he say mechanical?
Who are you? Yes, I said mechanical. So I love mechanical pencils. For the most part, you don't have to sharpen them, with the exception of 2mm pencils. Right down here we have 0.2mm pencils, which are great for fine detail work like veins in an eye or skin pores, as are the 0.3mm. Most of the time you can't get 0.2 and 0.3 in a regular like store or office supply store. You gotta kind of get them online or at an art supply store. We move up to 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9mm. Then up on the top, I have my 2mm pencils, which you would sharpen with a lead sharpener, even though they're graphite. So, you might want to think of looking into some mechanical pencils. Okay, so here are some refills for the mechanical pencils. Down here we have 0.2mm. We have B's and 2B's. 0.3s are up here. 0.5s, 0.7s, 0.9, and we have the 2mm over here. Now, the cool thing about the 2mm is you can also get colored leads. I mean, I wouldn't use them for serious artwork, but it's an option. Now, for example, right here, there are 60 refills in here. 60. So that's why I like mechanical pencils. Alright, so think about mechanical pencils. Okay, demo time. I'd like to show you some of the mechanical pencils. This is a 2mm, but as you can see, you can get a pretty sharp point using the mechanical sharpener. And you can also sharpen these with sandpaper. If you want to change the shape of the point to more of a flat edge or a rounder point for a bolder stroke, you can see these you can get nice thin lines with them, or you can get thick. It's a same pen by the darker lead. This is a 2B lead. Okay. Goes on nice and smooth. It blends well. You can layer it. I'm going to move on to a 0.9mm. You can see it's a little bit of a thick lead for the mechanical pencil. I believe there's a 2B in here. I'm not sure. But again, nice and smooth. Layers well, shades well. There's a 0.7. Okay, again, same thing. Goes on really smooth, layers well. Okay, there we go, 0.5. Again, it says you start to get down to 0.5. It's for more detailed work. Here is a 0.3. Now, if you notice these, 0.3, line's starting to get pretty thin. So this, again, is going to be more for detail work, not necessarily shading. And then the 0.2. There you go, the different thicknesses of the mechanical pencils. Okay, now it's time to explore
the dark side of graphite.
I don't know where that came from. So you're not getting those dark values you're looking for? Well, here are some of my darker pencils. We have the Casimir 12B, we looked at before. We have the Sanford Ebony, the General's Carbon Sketch number 595, the Pure Noir B, I think they go up to a 3B, Primo Elite Grande, and the Kimberly XXB. You don't know what that little thing is doing there. But anyway, you can see the line quality, the darkness. The Casimir and the Sanford will leave that graphite shine. The General's Carbon, the Pure Noir, and the Primo Elite and Kimberly won't leave the shine of graphite. The General's Carbon, Pure Noir B, and Primo Elite do, however, leave a lot of dust residue behind when you work with them. The Kimberly XXB does not. That's why it's one of my favorite pencils to work with. And also, I'm going to be doing a review on these pretty shortly. The Mars Lumograph Black, they go from a 2B to an 8B. I haven't used these yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And there you go. A little walk on the dark side. Okay, before we finish up with our fun with graphite, there's a few more graphite options I wanted to introduce you to. You can get full graphite sticks. These are woodless. They're complete graphite. Now, a ton of different options. Here's an HB. So you can get a lot done with these. Here is a 2B. So if you got a lot of area to cover, you might want to try these. And here is a 4B. Okay, so these are some pretty cool sticks. Another thing I use a lot is graphite powder. I use this a lot for shading. I use a brush a lot for shading instead of a tortillini stick. So you can see this goes on really nice. a little bit goes a long way. I probably put too much on here. But you can see if you're doing some shading in areas, or if you're just smoothing out. A brush is great. And the final thing we have here is water graphite. It's water soluble. You can get some pretty nice effects with this. So it's like painting. You can get some nice darkness. Dry the brush out a little bit. You can get some lighter values as you go. Well, you can get some really nice effects with this water-soluble graphite. And there you have it. That's the last of my graphite options. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Talk to you soon.